Hello. Um, I'm in the farm again, and I bring great instructions to every fish farmer, catfish farmer, and will-be catfish farmer. Instructions are very good. It gives us the knowledge we need to keep going and get better success. Um, Most of the instructions I bring, as a matter of fact, they are responses to the questions that I am asked in my YouTube channel about catfish farming. Today, I want to talk about tanks. A lot of people have asked me what kind of tanks should they use. Should they use concrete tanks? Should they use earthen ponds? Should they use plastic tanks? Or should they use tarpaulin tanks? Well, I want to tell you that there is no single, tank or pond or whatever that you use that is not good enough. They are all good enough. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. But if you use them for grow outs, if you use them for hatchery and all that, it is quite good. It's just for you to know the slight disadvantages and advantages. Something like tarpaulin tanks and plastic tanks, they are movable, and that's just the difference. Concrete tanks are not movable, so it's not mobile. You can't move them from one spot to the next if you are parking out of where you are. More especially if the property is not your own. And then earthen ponds are quite good because you don't have to be changing water all the time, so you save yourself some petrol money, diesel money, and all that. But the disadvantage is that when there's a flood, it might affect you and all that. Treatment wise, it's a little bit difficult to treat in earthen ponds, so on and so forth. But every single tank is very good, or can go as far as you want in terms of grow out and hatchery. It's just about how you manage your tanks. Now, in my farm, you see that every single tank here is either plastic or it is tarpaulin. You see them? So you see now this is my farm. Every single tank here, either plastic or tarpaulins. So this is what it is. a whole lot of tanks. You see that? You see plastic tanks, plastic tanks, plastic tanks, plastic tanks. Now you have them here. This place is a little bit dark. You have it here. You see now? You have them here. Okay, it's quite a big farm, but we want to get it big. We want to make it even bigger. These are my farm dogs for security. That guy, very vicious. His name is Napoleon. He's a Neapolitan Mastiff, and you have some others here. This is one of them, and this is the other one. They're all released at night. Okay, so some people have talked about theft in their farm, so I asked them to at least get a farm dog. Well, let's go about this tank thing that we're talking about. Like this particular tank is is a 6x10 tank. Now, in this tank, you can take about 200 to 250 pieces of fishes up to table size, 1 kg and above. Okay, now the problem is not the tank you are using. The problem is to know the size you must put in your tank. Now this is a 6x4 tarpaulin tank. This is 6x8. This is 6x4 tarpaulin tank. In this one, we take about 150 to 200 and to table size, and it is wonderful. Now each of these tanks can even take about 5,000 fingerlings, but you have to keep spreading them out as they grow. Now this is a 1,000 liter plastic tank. The best that this can do for you is 70 pieces of this can take 70 pieces to table size, 1 kg and above. Then you have this here. These are 3,000 liter tanks. Now, this can take as much as 150, to table size. As long as you have the idea of how many pieces of fishes you put in every tank to table size, then it doesn't matter what you're using. Whether it is plastic tank of 1,000 liters, that's the plastic tank of 1,000 liters, tarpaulin tanks of 6 by 8, or tarpaulin tanks of 6 by 4. That's the 6 by 4 tarpaulin tanks. It doesn't matter which tank you are. Once you have the idea of what to put inside your tanks, then it will serve you properly. Now, I also want to mention this before I forget. A lot of people have said that, look, their tanks so much, and then they want to take away all these things like spirogyra and all that. Now, this spirogyra you see around, I purposely leave them. It's not like I cannot clean them. I leave them because they create some type of oxygen. Apart from we changing the water all the time in the tanks, they create oxygen in the tanks, and it helps the fishes to grow, to breathe properly, eat properly, and then grow properly. You see, tank issue it's just about understanding how to use them. So for those who want to start, or for those who are there already, it doesn't matter whether you're using a plastic tank of 1,000 liters. It doesn't matter whether you're using a tarpaulin tank of 6 by 4 or 6 by 8 or 10 by 10 or 12 by 12. Just know how many pieces of fishes you're supposed to put inside the tank per time. And then you try as much as possible to change water in your tank so that the water in your tank stays properly oxygenated. Your fishes will do well in every tank as long as you know what to put there, how to treat your tank, how to handle your tanks. Concrete ponds, tarpaulin ponds, earthen ponds, whatever, it will do very well. I like to also mention that these informations that I pass on to you are informations that I've gathered after so many years of fish farming. But my informations are not cast on marble. That is to say, they are not finite. It's not that you must take the information I'm giving to you. Okay, you can source information from somewhere else, but I will stick to my informations because they give me great success. So if you want to take my information, it's okay. If you don't want to take it, no problems. You don't have to do it according to what I say. Okay, now this is what I keep doing all the time to encourage fish farmers. And since I keep posting into my YouTube channel, it will be very good if you're a fish farmer or want to go into fish farming, catfish farming. It will be very beautiful for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that each time I drop something, you are the first to get it. Thank you. My name is Greg.